All right, welcome back. How are you guys doing? Lorelei 27 JS. Good to see you. Yes, it has been so hot the past week or two. Uh, it's weird, growing up in Texas, it's much hotter there, but we have air conditioning. So it's more tolerable. I feel like I haven't been able to sleep as much. So I'm like constantly kind of in a state of tiredness. But yeah. And also, yeah, the subscribers only mode has always been on. I just changed it for this from 20 minutes to 5 minutes. But yeah, when we first started doing the streams, we were getting bots coming in and kind of spamming, and so I changed it to subscribers only. But yeah, I figure 5 minutes is probably good enough, because I have had people come in for, like, when I do gaming streams, people who just find me because I'm playing a game they like, and they'll be like, they're like, I had to wait 20 whole minutes to leave this comment for you. Like, from something that was like, I already happened a while ago. So yeah. But yeah. So we've always had the subscriber mode on. So we haven't had spam since I first started streaming several years ago. That's true. The houses are designed to keep the heat in. The sun just like beats down. That's true. I have seen some air conditioning units, but I don't know. It's not really in my my thought process at the moment. Not in my wheelhouse. And all the decisions I have to make, that's not one right now. Yeah. Yeah, we aren't used to it up here. It's brutal. But it's fine. I have been able to get out for some runs still, but I have to go like really early to avoid the worst of the heat. But it does feel really good to get out, and it's like 18 degrees in the morning. That's like perfect. I love that. But then it gets it gets too hot. Yeah, hey Perks, welcome in. Good to see you. 27 is a good number for you. But not a good temperature. Yeah. Well, you should switch to Fahrenheit, and then you'll be I don't know, maybe worse off actually. That's below freezing, so you might not like that in Fahrenheit. But yeah, okay, we're gonna do some Finnish. Well, I'm gonna do the Selko Uti set. I think that's just kind of where my level is, and let's see what we can do. We've got, it's about Gaza. Liken. It's these. I can't pronounce these words. When there's a double I, a single K, and then a double N, and then like 14 more, syllables. Like, what a give me a break. Liikenevalvonta. Liikennevalvonta. Golf. Sää. Is golf the word for golf in Finnish? You say golf. You don't even say golfi. What do does it, I feel like you guys make up so many of your own words for things. Right? Tietokone, And you find like a Finnish version of it. Liikenne. Golfaaja. Is that a golfer? Someone who plays golf. All right, here we go. We're starting off the news with terrible news. What can you do? But yeah. Israel hyökkää Gazassa. Israel strikes Gaza, or attacks. Yeah. Ensin uutinen Lähi-idästä. First news is about... Does this mean the Middle East? Okay, let's translate. Yeah, it does mean Middle East. I just didn't know. Lahi. I feel like I've seen that in other compounds, but I don't remember. And then, yeah, this is ita, right? But because you add the ending, it becomes idasta. The T becomes a D. Is that the way of it? Oh, the Near East. Oh, okay. So yeah, Lahi means more like near. Thank you, Lorelai. Israel laajentaa hyökkäystä Gazassa. Gaza on palestiinalaisten alue. I don't know this, but I'm just gonna say it's like, does it mean like Israel is launching attacks in Gaza? Or something like that? And then Gaza is a Palestinian region. It's expanding. That's okay. Israel is expanding. Laajentaa, to expand. And yeah, Gaza is a Palestinian territory. Alue. This can also just mean like an area or a region. But I guess it makes more sense to call it a territory. Israelin sotilaat hyökkäisivät eilen. I wouldn't even know how to pronounce this in English. But Deir al-Balahin alueelle. I've never seen this name. Deir. Deir? Deir? So I kind of sound like I'm a redneck. You can get it over there. There. In that there trailer. But anyways, Israel's soldiers are attacking or have attacked, past tense, because there's an I think. Yeah. They attacked yesterday this place in the area or in the territory. Wait, added extra I into hyökkäsivät. Here? There's an extra I? It looks like it's spelled exactly the way you just typed it, Lorelai. Or is there another version of it? Later on I haven't come across yet. Oh, I added the extra I. Hyökkäsivät. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce things. Yeah, we've run out of cheerful news perks. I don't know what to tell you. And wait, when you say Gaza, do you say kasassa? Like a K and S sounds? Is that it? 27? And yeah, Far East would be Asia. Siellä ei ole ollut aikaisemmin suuria hyökkäyksiä. It's like there was a large attack earlier, or there had been a large attack earlier, and then it's saying Der al-Balahin, a Balahin with two eyes now, on paennut paljon ihmisiä muualta Gazasta. Hey, Poyu, welcome in. And JS, good to see you guys. Yeah, welcome. I don't know this. Fun. Yeah, something. I mean, it's the past participle of a verb, but I don't know what verb it is. But a lot of people in Gaza. Why do I think this means like they moved? I feel like mutos is sort of like movement, or like there's a bunch of words that use this mu, but it's also in other compounds like muutama, meaning a few. So I don't know. But anyways, a lot of people have moved or have fled from Gaza. I don't know. Like they fled from Gaza to this place. Is that I'm probably wrong. But yeah, Israel soldiers attacked the Deir al-Balah area yesterday. There have been no major attacks there before. Hold on. Oh, why did I miss that? I think I didn't see that it was negative. I saw this, I read it, but for some reason I translated it as there had been a large attack earlier. But I don't know I don't even remember how I translated it. Maybe I did say not, but whatever. But yeah, there have been no major attacks there before. Many people have fled to Deir from other parts of Gaza. Yes. The funny thing is, I was kind of right about the sentence, what it meant, but not for the right reason. Like my logic is I looked at this and I thought this was the word for to move. But the verb is up here, right? So, and this means from other parts of Gaza. JS, you did what, a 5-kilometer walk? Hope it went well. I've been feeling so tired on my runs. I just feel like I'm not recovering as well. The heat is just sapping all my energy. And it was nice. We had some rain yesterday, but now it just feels like it's so humid. It cools off for like 5 minutes when it rains, and then the heat comes back with a vengeance. The humidity it reminds me, I was thinking how it reminds me of how it feels in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, where I had family there. We'd go visit, and you just go outside and it is an oven. It is a sauna. We don't need saunas in the South because that's just the outdoors, okay? But yeah. Okay, I think we kind of got this, right? I mean, you know what? Let's look up a word. Even my computer is heating up and it's triggering me. Paeta. Paeta. It is a verb meaning to flee. Yeah, okay, this is one of these. This is so Finnish. You make a verb like this, and then if you want to use the verb in a sentence, you gotta like add a bunch of crap in the middle of the word. Like this doesn't look hardly anything like this. You know? Like what the Hakenivat. With a K, yeah, where did the N come from? Uh, let's just look at the inflections here. Pakenen. What? Pakenen. Pakenet. Pakene. To flee. This is the new verb for me. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Pakenemme. Pakenette. Pakenevat. En pakene. Olen painut. Olemme painneet. On paettu. Paetaan. Ei paeta. Yeah, always something to complain. Yesterday the rain and today the humidity, exactly. Heat is melting your poor brain as well, Lorelai. Yes, I'm doing better, Onni. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Escape room. But yeah, maybe it's like I almost just want to go to the grocery store. Just to go stand in the air conditioning or to stand next to like the refrigerate, you know, there's like refrigerated areas. Just bathe in the coolness. I need it. I agree. A fan is a must for me as well. And my fan broke. The fan that I'd been using for like 4 or 5 years, it just died. It has I don't know if that's its normal lifespan, but I feel like it was a pretty cheap fan, a little floor fan I've been using. I feel like I definitely got my money's worth out of it for like, I don't know, was it like 20 something euros? But yeah, I went and I got an upgraded fan. It's more powerful, bigger. But yeah. There was like a day where I didn't have a fan and I was just like, what the It's humid for you as well, JS. No wind. Lorelai, it's funny you mentioned summer 2018 because I remember that. Of all the summers I've had in Finland, that was one of the worst, like in terms of heat. Not in terms of like, I don't know, personal stuff in life, you know, but like, yeah, the heat was so bad. It was just like, oh, that was crazy. How to translate ilmalämpöpumppu? What is this? Weather lamp or weather warming pump? What? Is that like an air conditioning unit of some kind? Last year you got ACJS. You consider it a worthy investment even if it's not in use for most of the year? I mean, ideally, you don't want to have to use it, right? Because that's just energy you have to pay for. But on those weeks when it's really tough, I kind of feel like the heat sucks, but it doesn't bother me as much. It doesn't bother me enough, you know, like to be like, oh, I'm gonna go and get an AC unit and whatever. And part of me also is too lazy because I'm like, oh, if I get an AC unit, then I have to figure out how to set it up. And it's like I don't even know how to do that with the windows here, you know, because like the windows barely let in enough. Like they only open a little bit and they're double paned. And so how do you even set up the AC so that it pumps, you know, the hot air out? Like our windows are very different in the US. It's very simple. You just lift the window And then you put the unit, or you put the pump of the unit right there, and then you close, and then you just slide the window down. I'm not saying American windows are better. I actually really like the windows in Finland because the double panes make your apartment much quieter. So the street noise and everything doesn't bother as much. But yeah, I don't even know how I'd set one up. 30 inside? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know what my internal room temperature is. I don't have a thermometer in here. But as long as I have a fan pointed on me, I'm okay enough. I'm okay. Oh, okay, Jay, it's a big installed unit with pipes to balcony to the external unit. Oh, so you have to order it installed. Yeah, I don't have a balcony. I can't, I wouldn't be able to do that maybe. Yeah. But anyways, hold on. Let's do another sentence before we get too derailed. Israelin. I'm saying it like Israel. Why am I saying it like Israelin? Isra. Is that how you say it? Israelin. Israeling. Why am I saying it like Israel? I'm adding a diphthong in there for the I. The A sound, I'm making it into an I sound. Israel. That's wrong. I don't know. Probably. I mean, you know what? Wrong is relative, okay? Israel. Yeah, thank you, Lorelai. That's what I'm reading. It's one of these like brain farts where I'm looking at it and I'm reading it, but I cannot make the sounds. I'm like, you know, an old person trying to say the word spaghetti, but I just keep saying pusketty. Is that a thing? I feel like that's a thing. That like really little children and like old people say pusketty. But it's only spaghetti that gets the treatment. You know? Why is that? Riddle me that. Maybe I'm just making that up because that's my experience. I remember I've heard people do that. And yeah, the Z is like an S in Finnish. Yeah. Gasassa. Israelin sotilaat hajottivat hyökkäyksessä muun muassa maailman terveysjärjestön WHO kaksoisv. Is that how you say W? Kaksoisv. O. N. Rakennuksia. How do you say like the N at the end of that? The WHO's building or whatever. But anyways, yes, Israel soldiers, they did something in the attack. Moon Muasa. What? Why do you put moo moo in the sentence? Why do you say moo twice? And then we had mual earlier that I got mualta that confused me, and now we've got moon muassa from other countries. Health terveysjärjestö. How the health organization, the Global Health Organization, WHO. building. Israel in Swedish with 2 eyes. Veho. Veho. O for short. By veho. Oh, you would say veho o. Taksoisve or tuplave. The latter is more used when talking. People say tuplave. If people say tupla, why do I think that means chocolate? Is there a chocolate brand that's called tupla? I feel like I've seen candy like labeled tupla. And yeah, mun muassa is a phrase meaning among others. Yeah, you guys, I have seen this before. I think that was also why I was kind of frustrated. I didn't remember it. Among others. So something about the soldiers did something with the WHO's building. The Israeli soldiers destroyed buildings belonging to the World Health Organization in the attack, among others. Is that kind of how they didn't? Google doesn't include among others in the translation, but it's like implying, or it's not implying, but it's stating here that those weren't the only buildings that were targeted or destroyed. Pronounced with wo-e. And tupla is a chocolate bar. Okay, thank you. MM is the abbreviation for mun muassa. Gasassa on myös vakava pula ruoasta. Well, I see pula and I think of pulla, which is a different thing. And vakava, doesn't that mean serious? A serious bun. A serious pastry. Ruoasta from Sweden. I don't know. In Gaza, there are also Swedish buns that are very serious in nature. The Tyler Walton free verse translation. What the? Okay, I don't know. I gotta read. There is also serious food shortage in Gaza. Ah. There is a serious shortage of food. Ruoka becomes ruoasta. I totally forgot that. That is so weird. Ruoka does. I mean, speaking of, at least I know the word for food in Finnish. This is the bane of learning the Finnish language. You think you learn it, and then turns out no. You only did the first step in solving the Rubik's Cube. There's like 19 permutations you gotta follow, right? So it becomes ruoka, ruoat. So here we've got UOA, which is what I would have expected. But then it becomes ruoasta. But wait, it goes ruoasta. So it is what I expected, the RUOA. But then down here it goes ruuan. What is this? Hold on a second. Wait. Why are there multiple inflections? Here it becomes the double U. Here it becomes oruasta, right? Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Why? Ruasta is the new acceptable form of ruasta. Yeah, that's why I was a little confused. To be fair, even if it said ruasta here, I probably still would have not recognized it as ruoka. I don't want to give myself too much credit, but this, where does this come from? How did this happen? But JS, you still use ruasta? Ruasta feels so mundane. You're too fancy. It's a lazy version. And yeah, Wiktionary doesn't differentiate. Ah, okay. For like, another word is liukua, which now is liun. Or something like this. To slide. And its conjugation, it has, yeah, this apostrophe. Minaliu. But, okay, what? Liukua. Why? Okay, why is there an apostrophe? Is that like a glottal stop where you're like liuun, liuun, or is it? Do you just pronounce it like it's two U's? Liuun, mina liuun. Because I mean, in English, at least in in American English, we use lots of. I think it's a glottal stop. I think that's the linguistic term. Instead of like saying a T, we'll just make it like, instead of gotten, we'll just say gotten, gotten. Have you gotten the new Nintendo Switch? No, because it's overpriced, overhyped, and Nintendo can't make a good video game anymore. Okay? So no, I did not get it. Sorry, I just had a I don't know where that came from. But yeah. Water. That's true. Well, it's okay. Yeah, it's not just Americans then. The British do it the worst. It's a meme where if you say a bottle of water in a very British way, it's like the T is gone completely. You pronounced it differently. Liun is not a word. Liuun is. So it does have a break in the middle. Like linea auto gets a line because it would sound wrong to say it like linea auto. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Well, what if I click on it? There's no pronunciation of it. That is okay. What was I doing? I was trying to read. But yeah, Gaza also has there is a serious shortage of food in Gaza as well. The un has a slight accent to it. But I also, okay, Anni, with linea auto, here, my issue, the hyphen separates the A's because the AU is a diphthong. Like, AU is not two vowels just put next to each other, like AE. I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting this correct, but I kind of assume that you would want to separate it so that it's not like linea auto. Linea auto. It's linea auto. Linea auto. Right? It's not au, it's au. Au. Eilen yli 20 maata antoi lausunnon, jossa ne vaativat loppua Gazan sodalle. Suomi oli mukana lausunnossa. I don't know what lausunnon means. But yesterday, over 20 countries gave something, aid of some kind, which something to end the war. Loppua Gazan sodalle. It's like Gaza's in or on the Gaza's war. Maybe we'll translate this. This is also, I'm pausing here because like it's, I don't know how you guys do this, but like in English, like we don't, we like, for example, we say the war in Ukraine, or maybe you could say the Ukraine war, but Ukraine's war we would not say. Not unless Ukraine was instigating the attacks, like in, into another country. It's Russia's war. And that's why I'm pausing here, because I'm like, well, I mean, isn't this Israel's war? Okay, yesterday more than 20 countries issued a statement calling for an end to the war in Gaza. Well, okay, yeah, so Google Translate figures out the nuance, I guess. But grammatically, this makes me think this is the genitive. It's like the Gaza's war. But over here, we were saying in Gaza, you know? This is the first time in this article I've seen it described this way, as Gasan Sota. That's why I paused, because I was like, wait, is it different in Finnish that this doesn't quite show as much ownership? In English, where you use the possessive, it's like, I don't know, it's very, I don't know. It has more meaning attached to like who is the aggressor, or like, but maybe it's just sort of like, if a war is happening in a country, then you can just call it that country's war. Google Translate has Liun and Liun, different translations. I guess there are different views on the conflict. But in Finnish, it's the genitive use here. So I guess yeah, I guess it's a little different in Finnish. Like it doesn't quite carry as much political meaning when you use the genitive as it would in English. Suomi oli mukana lausunnossa. So yeah, wait, the translation was that yesterday 20 countries was like gave or signed a letter of some kind. What was this? Lausunnon. And Finland was among. Finland was included in the statement. They issued a statement which called to end the war in Gaza. And it's like Finland was among the statement. That's where I'm like a little confused. Is it lausunto? A statement, a verdict. Yeah, I'm only confused because Finland is not a statement. Finland is a country. Does it mean that Finland was on the statement? I guess I would say like, I don't know, mukana. Let's look that up. That's why I was thinking among. Like, yeah, I get the meaning. I'm just thinking about grammatically. See, here we also have the SSA ending, right? In this case, maybe this is the best meaning is probably like this. Olen mukana kilpailussa. Like, I was in the competition. We wouldn't, yeah, there's no... I am among the competition. I guess you could say that, but... I am among the statement doesn't really make sense. But it's sort of like Finland was what did Google Translate as? I don't even know. Was included in the statement. Yeah, one of the 20 countries. Yeah. Yeah, Finland agreed. Because I guess what I was expecting in the sentence would be that Finland was among the countries, or among the what is the word, the signatories. You know, the people that signed, the countries that signed the statement. Israelin hyökkäys Gazaan on kestänyt 20... Did I say that right? Kuukautta. Or do I need to translate, or not translate, but transform the number 20 into some other form? Israel's attack on Gaza has lasted 20 months. So, no, okay, I don't need to transform 20. Just, yeah, kaksikymenta. Because kuukautta is partitive, right? It's 20 months. It's not 20 months used in some way in the sentence. It's not like 20 months time. Like if you use that, if you try to say it that way, you would have to then make kuukautta genitive or kuukauden aika or something like that, right? And then you'd have to translate the 20, I keep saying translate. It's basically like translating from one version of Finnish into another version of Finnish. That's what it feels like. All right. I've learned 14 versions of this language, none of which are actually useful. Yeah, here we go. Kahden kymmenen kuukauden ajan. Kahden kymmenen. All right. Let's move on. Poliisi valvoo pikkuteitä. Pikku means small, but teitä. Sitten uutinen liikennevalvonnasta. I don't know. Well, let's translate this title. Police patrol minor roads. Sitten uutinen. The next piece of news is about traffic patrols, traffic control. Poliisi valvoo heinäkuussa pienten teiden liikennettä. This is impossible to pronounce. You can't tell me, Finnish people, that you can look at this word and do like this is like a mountain range. This is the I don't know, the pass of Karadros in the Misty Mountains. I can't get over it. I got to go through the mines of Moria. Well, I'm trying. Where am I going with this analogy? The Tolkien lore has entered the chat. Actually, I listened to The Hobbit on audiobook for the first time. Because I've only ever read the book as a text, you know. But I finally got the Rob Inglis audiobook version and really enjoyed it. The same guy who did the Lord of the Rings audiobook that I really enjoy. So yeah, definitely recommend little Bilbo. It's funny being reminded about stuff in there that's so weird and almost like out of place in Middle Earth. I totally forgot that when the company gets to Beorn's home, you know, and he's a skin changer, which is kind of weird, but he has animals that will like walk around and like the animals bring the food to the table. I'm like, when did this turn into Narnia? Like, what the? Like, there's like sheep walk in with trays of food on their backs. I'm almost even having a hard time visualizing. I'm like, can you balance a tray on the back of an animal like that? You know, I'm like, okay, like maybe they're trained. And then you're telling me that the dogs also stand on their hind legs and use their little paws to pick the food up off the trays. And I don't know. It was just a little too, it was a little much. I'm like, what is this? What is going on? But yeah. You guys, you can pronounce it just fine. Whatever. But yeah, okay. Police are patrolling in July small road traffic, right? Is that what it is? The police will monitor traffic on minor roads in July. Poliisi on lisännyt valvontaa etenkin mökkiteillä. Lisännyt. So yeah, police have increased valvontaa. And this means like they've increased the patrols. Etenkin. I always forget this word, but yeah. But anyways, it has to do with people going to their mukki. The road, like mukki roads. Right, is that... Hold on a second. Is this tie? Tie? Does the word for road, tie, become teita? Does the EI switch in tie? I'm never... Oh my god, I'm gonna see like 19 languages have this probably. Where's Finnish? There we go. Tie. It does. Teidän. How is it used here? Teitä. Partitive. The parted... Oh. What? Oh my goodness. This is okay. This is why I was confused. It's both. It's tie when it's singular, and then it's te when it's plural. Unless tie, tiet. Tien, teidän, tietä, teitä. Lorelai, you're coping with the heat. Yeah, the even smaller roads leading to the mukki. Yeah, for the plural it switches. Date isain istumaan. So yeah, that's why I didn't recognize this initially, because yeah, I would think tie is just a road. But there's also so many words that kind of look like this in Finnish, like tehdä, to do, right? Let's look at that word as well. Because isn't is that, did I spell that right? Yeah, to do. Teet. Tekemään. Tein. Yeah. That's the form I was thinking of. The past tense. I made. Or I did. Tehty. I'm just like, I don't know why I'm still so in awe at this language. Just, how can a single word have so many forms? Tehdä huorin. Very important words. Important phrases. This seems like an unfortunate sound in English. Like, committing adultery is bad, but not... Whether did you know, do were you paid to do it is okay. Tein, teke, teki. Where were we? Okay, we were somewhere in this. About something on the roads. Etenkin. What is that? Especially. That's what that word is. Yeah, the police have increased surveillance, especially on the cottage roads, the mucky roads. Poliisi valvoo pieniä teitä. koska niillä tapahtuu heinäkuussa paljon onnettomuuksia. Police are patrolling small roads because niillä. What is that? Is this some version of ne? Like it plural? They? Or is it something else? I don't know. But something has happened. Or tapahtuu is like it happens in July. A lot of, I don't know what this is, but a lot of people are going to the Mukki in July, right? The police monitor small roads because many accidents occur on them in July. So this is accidents. Onnettomuuksia. Many accidents. And it's the accidents that happen. And this is singular verb because it's paljon. Paljon tapahtuu, right? Like I would in English would a lot of them, a lot of accidents happen. They happen. So it's the plural. A lot of accidents happens. Yeah, I don't think you could say, you can't do that, right? A lot happens. We do say a lot happens though. A lot happens in July. But I don't, I'm overthinking it. A Bible quote, Tehdä huorin, is archaic. And huora is also kind of what it means in English. Like a mean way to refer to somebody like that. But yeah, with any language, there are things you just need to accept and memorize, JS, I agree. Wait, you're having some kind of bread, Anni? Wait, cheese, no fat, a rasva. So good. Vakavia onnettomuuksia tapahtuu usein siksi, että ihmiset ajavat humalassa. It's so unfair that you guys can just hear me say this. You can just look at the screen and read this and not even think about it. And I'm over here like solving puzzles like my life depends on it. Vakavia onnettomuuksia. So serious accidents happen often. Humalassa. I don't know what humalassa means. But that's why that's the reason that people drive in, what? I feel like siksi että means something, I just can't remember. I know separately, if you say siksi, it means that, like, that's why. Right? Because miksi is why. Oh, it's drunk driving? Serious accidents often happen because people drive drunk. Yeah, I guess I get confused because I think of koska as because. But in this case, you can also just say siksi ette. I overlooked the teitä meaning. Roads or you. Oh, true. Okay. Tarkoitan teitä. I mean you. It's been a long time since I've driven as well. I don't have a car here in Finland. Yeah, the last time was when I was in the US several years ago. JS, you haven't driven in several decades, but it doesn't mean that you've been drunk the whole time. Yeah, well, even if you were, at least you'd be making a responsible decision. Not a responsible decision for your health, but a responsible decision to not operate heavy machinery. Humala might be hops. Hoppy when drunk. Humalainen. The text could have koska instead of siksi että. Wait, Lorelai, koska is harder? I don't know. For some reason, siksi että is it doesn't translate as literally, or it's just sort of weird because those words can mean other things in different positions. Whereas I learned koska very quickly. That was one of the first things I feel like I learned. Or it's like one of those things I remember. Because it's whatever. It's so directly translatable into English. Ylikonstapeli Janne Koskima sanoo, että poliisilta on pyydetty valvontaa. The head constable Janne Koskima says that is it like the that the police need to increase the patrols? Is that kind of what it means? They need to increase surveillance? Is that what this word means? That they should? But I also get this confused with another verb that means like to stop. Pystyä. The police have been asked to provide more supervision. I actually do. Yeah, that's another verb that looks just like this. I get them all confused. The police sergeant. Oh, and JS, yeah, I get all of those verbs confused. I said pystyä. That doesn't mean to stop. Pysähtyä means to stop. Pystyä means to be able. See? I'm just, even when I'm wrong, I'm right. I'm proving my point. Okay, let's translate the constable's words. Saamme paljon valvontapyyntö palautetta. It does help when you learn to break up, when you can start. I'm proud of myself that I can see that where words begin and end in a compound word like this. I mean, this honestly just looks like somebody just smashed their computer keyboard together, you know, and they were just like, whatever. Make sense of that. And Finnish people were like, actually, that is a beautiful word in our language. It can also mean a field commander. But anyways, did I read this? I don't know. Saamme paljon valvontapyyntöpalautetta siitä, että ei käydä pienillä paikkakunnilla. So it's something about like in a paikkakunta. Does that just mean like a location or a I don't know. But in small locations, I guess in like small towns or more rural locations, something. Now this, I don't know this. I forgot this construction here. Siitä että. You know, this is also a crazy thing about Finnish. You can, sometimes it's better just to translate backwards. Like don't try to translate from the beginning, because you're just setting yourself up to be a fool. All right, go to the end of the sentence and translate backwards, and you're more likely to, I don't know, get to it. But yeah, anyways, we get a lot of surveillance requests. Is that what this means? Like surveillance requests? But not to visit small locations? We get a lot of feedback about requesting supervision not to visit small towns. Nyt annetaan vastetta, koska siellä on enemmän ihmisiä ja kesätapahtumia, jotka ohjaavat liikennevirtoja sivummalle. What? Now it's given vastetta. A response, because there are more people and summer events which ohjaavat, I don't know, something, traffic patrol pages. What is sivummalle? What is that? I only know sivu is a page. That's what. Now we are responding because there are more people there in summer events that divert traffic flows to the side. Poliisi on lisännyt heinäkuussa valvontaa pienillä teillä. Police have increased in July surveillance of smaller roads. Hold up a minute. Am I dumb? Because I don't understand, even in English, how this makes any sense. It's saying that the chief says that police have been asked to provide more supervision. Then we cut to exactly what he says. We get a lot of feedback about requesting supervision not to visit small towns. That's the complete opposite of this. Now we are responding. What does this mean? What does it mean to have a summer event that diverts traffic flows to the side? What is that? The side of what? The side of the road? Or does it mean like to the countryside? Is that maybe a better? Yeah, paikkakunta is like a locality, a town or village. Okay. And Uli and Ali is used a lot in like authorities and military. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to the Finnish because you guys were telling me here This is a feedback for monitoring requests. Yeah, I still don't understand how he says that they've been requested to go out to small towns, but then he also says, actually, they've told us not to go to these small towns. But we're doing it anyway. Does this make sense to you guys? Sivumale in this case means those less traveled. And smaller roads that get more traffic now because of events in Mukki. So Google Translate is bad, but I am also bad because I don't see what it's supposed to mean. So JS, we get a lot of feedback that we don't visit smaller towns. That makes more sense. I will admit there was a lack, it was a failure of my imagination. All right, I couldn't imagine a way that the sentence could be constructed where you could say about something about the feedback and not visiting smaller towns. But the feedback is that they want the police to visit the smaller towns. Yeah, so and also this translation wasn't that good because it's sort of like in this case it's like it diverts traffic to the smaller roads. But not to the side. Yeah, some people might wish they don't visit though. See, I think also why I maybe thought that they wouldn't want them to visit is the fact that I know, in America at least, people that live in small towns, like kind of in the countryside, they love to speed. They love to break the law and go like way above the speed limit on their tiny little country road. And they almost feel a sense of pride about it. Like it's a joke that there is a law telling them that they can't, that they, that it's not safe for them to be going, whatever, 120 kilometers an hour down this little 2-lane road. So that's also why I was thinking maybe the people living there, maybe it's not just the people coming for their mukki, the city slickers showing up, but it could be the locals themselves who are like, oh man, now I can't drive like I normally do. Now I have to drive slow. But is it like that here in Finland, that more if you live in the countryside, people just don't really care? I've noticed as well where I live outside Helsinki, I go on my runs along some of these country roads and there are people that go way too fast. I'm just like, people will be flying down the road. Local speed here too, you get that impression, JS? Visit Kouvola or Kouvostoliitto? Why is that 27? Are they known for like crazy rally drivers or something? Locals know their roads, and since we're the rally people, where are they gonna practice? Oh man. Can you imagine that? You're just like, oh, I just want to go explore this forest or something, I don't know, and then down the coming in a head-on collision is a rally car. Oh, Neuvostolito is the Soviet Union. Wait, but I said, wait, no, I don't know. I don't know if I probably there's probably a joke there 27 and I didn't get it. But you know what? That's just how it is. I'm dumb. Golf on suosittua. Uh is it golf is popular? Is that? Yeah, okay. I'm just confused by the A because I would have expected just to say suosittu, but maybe because golf is this like indeterminate whatever thing, you would use the partitive. Okay, it was a pun. Okay, thank you. And Kovolas is known for its concrete architecture. But wait, 27, I was expecting there to be a joke about the driving. What is there a joke about that, or is it just like you were making a joke kind of unrelated to the topic? Lopuksi uutinen suositusta urheiluharrastuksessa. I almost had it, but I think I messed up this final bit. The last or the final news is about the popular sport hobby. Golf on nyt tosi suosittu harrastus. Golf is now a very popular hobby. Harrastus. Etenkin nuoret miehet ovat innostuneet golfista. Especially men or young men are interested in golf. Olli Laine. Mielenkiinto heräsi muutama vuosi. Look, I called it. I said this word earlier, and it shows up in the text right here. I'm a prophet. But anyways, hold on. Vuosi sitten. Siitäpä se lähtikin. Kikkiin on jääty. What? This might be the most Finnish word I've ever seen. Kikkiin. Kikkiin. Like, what is this? On jääty. Something about ice? Frozen? But yeah. So Olli Linus says, I don't know. Something about a few years ago. I can't translate. Something happened a few years ago. All right. Wait, a battle in the UK is whether a horse is allowed to walk on the street or whether they have to stay on bridleways? What is a bridleway? Is that okay, a path for riding a horse. Okay. I didn't know if it was like a word you could use to describe any sort of path along the side of a road or something. I was like, is this a British word? I don't know. Leave it to the Brits. They've got all sorts of weird lingo. And they expect us to keep up with it. I'm tired of it. Okay, all the British people thinking they have a monopoly on the English language just because you're born in England. Get out of here. Not harastus, harastus with a double R. But yeah, horses were used for a long time. That's right. I remember seeing these bridleways in Helsinki Central Park. And then, of course, I mean, there were you would see horses out there. I'm not a horse person. I didn't grow up around horses. Also, horses make me nervous, you know? Because they're so powerful. Like a horse can kill you. But you guys taught me a word about this for like, what was it? Was it hepatita or something like that? Horse girl? that phase that every like 12-year-old girl goes through. Or no, maybe not every, but there's at least one girl in every classroom who is obsessed with drawing horses in her notebook. There's probably an overlap with an obsession of Orlando Bloom in his role as Legolas. That was one of those things that, like, as a boy, when Lord of the Rings came out, it was so cool. But then the girls had to, like, make it weird. What? I just wanted to enjoy the adventure of a bunch of bros, okay, on their way to Mordor. And then all the girls got into it, but not for the cool reasons of it being an epic adventure. They got into it because they liked Legolas. And I'm like, I was cringing. I was a 12-year-old boy, just like, oh man. Look, let everybody live and let live, all right? It's okay. They don't have, not everybody has to like everything for the reasons I like it. It's okay. But that was difficult for me. I'm trying, what would be an equivalent of like something that women enjoy? Like I guess it would be like if women went to see the Little Women movie. And then guys just talked about how hot the actresses were, you know, and they didn't care at all about the characters and the character development, and you know, and they were just like, yeah, I've got these, I'm gonna keep these posters at Emma Watson on my binder. Isn't that weird? Maybe that was just a thing that I grew up with. I think it was also more socially acceptable. It certainly was more socially acceptable for like girls to kind of be obsessed with male celebrities, like in my school. Like as boys, we would never be allowed to put up pictures of like female celebrities on our binders, or you know, that stuff would have been like, I don't know. I don't know what's right. We were just treated differently. And the girls got a free pass when it came to their Orlando Bloom obsession. But it was a big deal. It was a big thing in my school, I remember. But anyways, coming back to you guys, look, I see a horse, I'll find a way to connect it to Tolkien, okay? Hey, Lemon, welcome in. Lorelai, wait. Hepatita likes Heppa. Wait, you tried, but you were more interested in fantasy sci-fi? Wait, you tried to be a horse girl? Also, I mean, like, aren't horses like really expensive? I'm sorry, I was thinking about how like it's a whole thing for some people that it's like, They don't. I guess it's hard for me to understand because it's like if you actually live on a ranch where you have horses, it kind of makes sense that like you're into horses and caring for them. But it's kind of I don't I I don't want to judge people. Like it's fine if people are interested in things, that's fine. But it's in a way almost harder for me to understand when like people like it's like a whole hobby that they pay someone else to stable their horse, and then they go and visit the horse, and they have to like take care of the horse and like brush it. And I'm just sort of like, you have a hobby where you basically just do chores, you just do farm work. But you pay for that. All right, I mean, I'm not gonna, if it brings someone joy, people, they have a bond with the animal, they love riding the horse. That's fine. I don't want to knock anybody's joy, but it's not something I understand, or it's not something I would really be interested in. But I say that, but then again, I mean, did Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen was so connected with his horse from the Lord of the Rings set? Uh, you were watching Potter films at the time, Lorelai? Lorelai, you were shipping Frodo and Sam. Yeah. Lemon, you tried to be a hepatita too for the sake of fitting in, but yes, it was too expensive. Okay, so it is a quite expensive hobby. Yeah, okay, and you pay to be a part of the stable, and then you ride their horses. So it's more like a timeshare, a horse share situation. Yeah, owning a horse means no money for anything else. 50 to 60 euros for one lesson is pretty expensive. 27, you know someone who rides a horse in competitions? Um, yeah, I don't know how we got on this topic. I mean, I know how, I just don't understand why my brain works that way. But you know what I was doing? I got a little distracted earlier today, and I was having a conversation with ChatGPT about black holes. Sometimes I do this because like, so when you search for information and there's lots of information, but like finding a specific answer, because I was like, my question was, what is the smallest possible black hole? Because I always imagine a black hole forms because a gigantic star or group of stars collapse. And it's like there's tons of mass. But is there a lower limit on the amount of matter? And ChatGPT was like, yeah, a black hole could technically be a grain of sand. Like that would be enough mass. As long as you compressed it down far enough, you could bend whatever space-time so that light wouldn't be able to escape. I'm like, okay, that's weird. It would have an event horizon that's like the length of a Planck unit, which is like the smallest possible space-time unit or something. It's weird. Yeah, that's what I but it also bothers me because I'm like, why is that a feature of our universe? You would think that space would also have some kind of like speed limit, like light. Light is the constant. How is it that space-time can just also be warped down so that not even light can escape? I feel like that should be a law. If I were a god and I could create physics, I'd say no, no black holes, none of that nonsense. Come on, guys. No, you can't. You can, if you're going to have one law, you can't then do a little loop-de-loop with the black hole law, because now you're going to make space-time collapse in on itself. No, the curve of space would be maximum speed of light. That would be my rule. Okay? Uh, you have a conversation with Chat GPT. You're sorry, JS. It's one of those questions where I'm like, I don't feel like Googling it and trying to find an answer. Hold on, wait. We're almost done here. Oh, well, what was the quote? I became interested a few years ago. That's where it all started. I've been hooked. I feel like golf is one of these really expensive hobbies. And also, isn't golf like a really destructive hobby? Like the way that golf courses are created, it just like, destroys the natural environment. And then like it's really expensive to maintain all of it. And like, I don't know. Maybe obviously it depends on like the region. Like if you live in a water scarce region, it's like super wasteful to use water to like just keep the grass growing for golf. And of all sports, isn't golf the most rage inducing? like like you don't see people lose their mind playing basketball or soccer. Like but when people play golf and when they hit the ball and it doesn't go where they want, they like break their golf club, they get like really angry. There's like golf cart road rage. Like people ride around in these golf carts and crash them and like what's going on with the golf community? There's no other sport that is just so on the surface so well behaved. It's like golf is supposed to be like an elitist kind of sport. It's like you're meant to feel like you're rich while you're playing. But under that surface, there's this triggering rage. Yeah, mini golf. I'm a fan of mini golf all day. We had a mini golf course near where I lived, and I remember going there in the summer all the time with one of my neighbors. And we got so good at the golf course, I think we like almost tied the course record or something like this. Like, cause they had it posted that the course record was a certain score, and we just kept playing over and over. And it was like we memorized every hole, exactly where to hit the ball so that I had the best chance of ricocheting. Like mini golf is great. Regular golf sucks. That's my stand. That's my platform. It's just a contrast in golf. In others, it's just expected. I don't know. Like because like people might get upset about the if a referee, doesn't make a call like in soccer or basketball. But even then I think it's pretty basic. Like, I don't know. Rarely do you have some like if a soccer player misses a goal, yeah, he'll like cover his face with his hands. There will be the disappointment. But he won't take his shoes off and start beating the ground or something stupid, he like he's not going to throw a fit. You just keep playing the game. But I feel like I've seen so many videos of golfers losing their cool. But I think part of it is not just the people, the culture of golf. It is the sport. It's a sport that makes you think you're better than you actually are. And then when you have to face the reality that you suck and that you can't hit a golf ball at all, like in any sort of consistent manner, you know, it triggers us an existential meltdown. Other other sports are kinder. But yeah. But yeah, the fans are a different thing. I'm not talking about fans. I'm talking about players, people who play sports. There's also that video of the the guy. There's a golfer who like walks into a rope or something. Like somebody was holding a rope up, but he didn't duck low enough, or the person let the rope down too soon. But it caught him in the neck, and the guy is like, he's like so angry about it. It's like, dude, come on, man. Accidents happen. But yeah, oh, I didn't translate this last one. Golfliitto on Suomen suosituin lajiliitto. Golfliittoon kuuluu jo lähes 170 000 golfin harrastajaa. There are 170,000 golfers in Finland? The Golf Federation is the most popular sports federation in Finland. But why? Also, what does it mean for a sports federation to be popular? Like that doesn't make any sense to me, because like hockey is by far the most popular sport in Finland, right? Like, but is it the case that people aren't members of a hockey federation, so it's not the most popular sport for that reason? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I maybe it is just more popular among adults. Is that the case, that as people get older, they stop playing hockey or other kinds of physical, contact sports, and they switch to golf? Oh wait, hold on. Sää on vaihtelevaa. Vielä säännöstä. So yeah, this means like the weather is variable, right? Vielä säännöstä, still the weather forecast. Keskiviikkona sää vaihtelee. Wednesday's weather will vary. Lapissa voi sataa ja ukkostaa. In Lapland, it could rain and thunder, or lightning. Muualla on poutaa ja aurinkoista. In other areas, it will be dry and sunny. Lämpötila on noin 20 viiva. It is viiva, right? Not viivi. Yeah, viiva 30 astetta. The temperature will be around 20 to 30 degrees. Lapissa on viileämpää. Lapland is cooler. Viileämpää. But yeah, I think we got it. Yeah, the weather is changeable. Yeah, I saw you commented on that, JS. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but that's kind of weird. I would say it's more like, yeah, the weather is varied. Yeah. But yeah, the weather will vary on Wednesday. It can rain and thunder in Lapland. We got it. Doesn't changeable mean that you can change it? That like, yeah, do you have the power of the gods to change the weather? I feel like changeable can be either. Like it can be something that just inherently changes with or without your input. But it could also be like something is changeable for you to change. So I think it can be both. Or at least that's my, what is it? My gut reaction. Hey, Elena Enjoyer, welcome in. New to my channel, welcome in. What's a realistic career opportunity for not knowing much Finnish? I have no idea. You're looking to immigrate to Finland. I've been wanting for years, but the job market scares you as you only know a decent amount of Swedish. Yeah, it's a tough job market. I mean, even in good times, it's tough to find a job. I don't know what advice I'd give. I would just say, like, you know, do what it is that you enjoy. And also maybe don't get your hopes up too much about Finland. Like, I mean, what is it? It's like after you've lived in a place for a while, I don't want to say like the novelty wears off, but like, you know, you can live a good life in many different places. I don't know where you're from or what the situation is, but you know, it doesn't have to be in Finland. But if you do want to make it, my advice is come to Finland and visit and try to meet with like people in the industry or whatever. Like that's what I originally did when I first moved here. That's how I kind of got some connections that enabled me to move, because you'll need to get a job before you would move here. So yeah. But more, I think more important than like just living in Finland is like finding work that you enjoy, or at least like work that, I don't know, is meaningful to you in a way. Because like you wouldn't necessarily want to move to Finland, but then you're stuck doing a job that you really hate. You know, I don't feel like it would be worth it in that case. But I can't say for you what you're really interested in. Yeah, the JS, realistic career opportunities even for Finnish people aren't too good at the moment. Yeah. And yeah, if you speak Swedish, there'll be a lot more opportunities for you. Like in the southwest part of Finland, you'll find plenty of places that'll hire. Or like, I guess plenty of like more normal places, not just international companies. Yeah, learning Finnish would be better when you actually get here. Good luck. I feel it's like I feel like I'm the worst example. I really feel this way. Like, I feel like I'm just the worst example of someone who's ever moved to Finland. Like, I don't feel like I've really integrated that well. I still suck at Finnish. I almost feel like I just make a fool of myself with these videos, with these live streams. And like, maybe, and it's also weird because it's like people have this almost impression that, like, oh, you've succeeded in Finland. But I'm like, have you not watched my cringy videos? Have you not, what about what I'm clearly not that smart. I'm not that capable. I don't know what impression you've gotten here, but yeah. But I do want to encourage. I don't want to, like, I don't know. You never know until you try. But yeah. And yeah, you're very welcome for the answers. what they're worth. But yeah, I mean, to do things differently. If you're young, if you're like in your early 20s, then you definitely have a much better chance to learn Finnish. Making Finnish friends, and maybe even getting like a job, like at a coffee shop or somewhere, where you'll have to speak Finnish more. That kind of thing. Like, there's a lot of the immigrant friends that I have, other Americans and from other parts of the world who've moved here. The people who actually speak Finnish are the people that, came very young and worked in jobs where they basically were forced to learn Finnish, And I've never had that kind of opportunity. So, I mean, not that I've like sought out the opportunity and woe is me or anything, but yeah, it's not the path I've taken, so I haven't. But there has been a thought I've had lately about taking the national language exam and doing the preparation more seriously. I don't know if I've mentioned it to you guys on stream, but it could be a fun project we could do together. Where I have mentioned it because I have this spreadsheet where I've started to generate some sentences using ChatGPT based on certain topics. And the sentences are really like simple, so that like you get exposure to a lot of the words, the vocabulary, but you also, it's based on the national language competences, so it's not just like being able to talk about an aspect of life, but also to use the language in certain functions, or and so I think the AI can do a pretty good job when you give it very specific instructions of like, write a text that does this and that. And of course, though, like, this is where, like, you guys, if you wanted to help, you could check some of the sentences. But it's like a tool, because like there are like some Finnish learning resources. Like, I have this book here for the Uki. But these are really only designed for classrooms with a Finnish teacher. The book is all in Finnish. So like, yeah, there's no explanation for why a sentence is written the way it is. And I find that really helpful. And that's also something I found like ChatGPT to be quite useful at. Like, even if it is the case that ChatGPT will be wrong or will hallucinate some fake linguistic answer, it's rare enough that it doesn't really matter, because I'm not actually memorizing it. And it's not like I'm becoming a doctor and I'm going to misuse this information, and like someone's health is at stake or something. It's like, use the tools that are available to you. So that's kind of what I've been thinking of doing to maybe take my Finnish to that next level, and really challenge myself to get beyond the selko-uutise, which we've been doing quite a lot of. And I feel like my motivation has waned over the past month or so for learning Finnish. I've just been kind of burnt out, and I just don't have, yeah, I don't have any of like excitement around it. I think there's also, for me on a personal level, I've lived here quite a number of years, and this year I have to renew my residence permit. And there's some anxiety around that, and I kind of feel like, and especially in the news, the conservative government is making it harder for people to move here. They're making it harder for people who already live here to get their residence permits renewed. They keep raising the restrictions. And so I feel pretty anxious about that. And so, I mean, it is very possible my residence permit won't get renewed based on the current situation, and I'd have to leave. And that would be very personally devastating to feel like I tried to make a life in Finland and it just all fell apart, you know? And not really even for a good reason. Like, if the government just decides to kick you out, you can't do anything about it. You know, if you're not a citizen, you don't belong, you know? So it's like I struggle with that. And because of that, I kind of feel like I'm not motivated to learn Finnish. It's like reverse, I don't know, it's like not reverse psychology, but kind of a vicious cycle that feeds on itself, where I feel like I don't really want to learn Finnish, or I don't really want to dedicate myself to learning Finnish until I have the residence permit situation sorted this year. But I have pretty much till the end of the year to kind of figure that out. But yeah, that's kind of my situation. But maybe I shouldn't be like, discouraged or like be a downer. Like, I can still learn Finnish just for the joy of it. It doesn't have to be practical. But it's hard to separate those two things when you are learning it to make a life in Finland, and it feels like everything is against you. Even the language itself is against you. Like this like, give me a break, please. Finnish is, man, look, I get it. There's all languages are hard, but Finnish is just especially punishing to me on a personal level. All right, it's gotten personal at this point. I feel like the Finnish language has had long enough to repent of its difficult ways. All right, look, I've made compromises. But this is a relationship, okay? And I don't feel like Finnish is compromising for me. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. Anyways. Tyler's joking about the hardness of learning Finnish does hinder him. Yeah, I don't know. In my defense, it's like, I have to laugh. Be like, I don't know how else to process these difficult feelings other than with humor. I wouldn't say it's hindering me. I think I've just explained that there's other bigger problems. It's not, I don't know. I already have enough self-criticism and introspection. I don't need to add that to it. But Elena, don't say that. You genuinely inspired me to feel like you can realistically achieve your dream, even if it's not to the success you feel. Personally, feel like you're able to try your best now. Well, good. Glad to hear that. Don't give up. But yeah, I think the main thing is like, just try to visit Finland and try to make connections here, because that's going to be the best way. Like, trying to do it on your own is just going to be really isolating and difficult. It'll be way more difficult. You're great in Finnish, period. Well, thank you, Onni, appreciate it. And yeah, in my defense, I have learned a lot of Finnish, even if it's still at like, 2 words per minute. Like, I read at the slowest pace. And that would be kind of the challenge with prepping for this national language exam, taking my language learning to that level where I don't have time to sit and analyze a sentence. Like I just have to hear it and understand it, you know? So that's I could practice that. And that's the thing. It's like when you're just learning on your own, it's so easy to just take things easy, or to do the easy thing that you're comfortable with, like Selko, you know. So that's kind of where I've defaulted. But I will say I don't blame myself. I'm very glad that I'm consistent, or that, like, you know, I would rather be consistent doing something that isn't that effective than to try to do, like, to constantly be optimizing but be like just totally burnt out and overdoing it, you know. Like, consistency is more important than being like optimal. But yeah, Finnish military was the best for learning Finnish. But I don't know, I don't even know the rules on, like, if you do move to Finland, are you allowed to serve in the military without being a citizen? Like if you volunteer or something? I don't know. But yeah, Elena, you'll find people here to speak Finnish with. But yeah, I don't have citizenship. And it's not due to not knowing the language. That's part of it. The real reason is just that I haven't lived in Finland long enough yet. You have to live here like years and years. And the problem is I left Finland for 2 years. I went back to the US and I studied. And then when I moved back to Finland and I got another residence permit, the years that I did before didn't count. Like each time, if you take a break, you have to start over from zero. So now my years are adding up, and now it will be 5 years at the end of this year. And then after that, so if I get another residence permit, then at that point I could apply for citizenship once I take the national language exam. But now they're making it even harder, where it's like they want to add more and more years. So it's not enough to have lived in Finland for 5 years. They're going to raise it to like 8. But there was also some caveat of like, oh, if you do the language exam, you could still do it in 5 or something. But now they also want to add in like a history test. You know, it's like it's so stupid. It's just so ridiculous. And they're like, oh yeah, you have to like learn the law, and like I've become a lawyer. Like you think Finnish people know this? Like I want to see Finnish people take this exam. You know, and if the logic is that knowing the law is going to make you a better citizen, then surely the best citizens are the criminals. Because who knows the law better than those who make a living by avoiding it? I mean, come on. Like, just... And that really bothers me. That gets me angry. And it's just another burden put on people who are already quite, like, vulnerable and who, like, need help. They don't need an extra thing that they have to worry about taking evening classes. Can you imagine, like, just to prove that you belong in a country? Like, get out of here. It's a dumb requirement. It's not scientific. It's just based off of bullshit that like politicians say, and it resonates with people who have never met an immigrant in their life and think that that's the problem with the country. But yeah, learning Finnish could help me to feel like I belong. That's been one of my motivating factors. for sure. Your favorite word in English is frequently. You try to use it as often as possible. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to get down on myself. I don't. But I feel like there's so much emphasis on the individual and being like, "Oh, you're doing this wrong or that wrong. You need to change this." But there's no support. There's no like structured or systemic support for people in my situation, you know. Basically the only option you have is like start paying a lot of money to take classes or get private tutors, you know, and it's just like, well, you know, I don't have the money or really the time to do that. It's like I'm not gonna beat myself up, but I'm also not gonna sit here and pretend like I deserve like to feel bad or anything about my level. But yeah, it's like I don't know what I would do if I get kicked out of Finland. It would be so devastating. But there's also a part of me that says, "F yeah." Like, you know, what is my life? This has just been a waste. Like, what a waste to come to Finland and try to make a life and all for it to and then just to get kicked out, you know? Man. Look, and there's nothing too unique here about Finland. I mean, my home country is paving the way in how to be an asshole, you know, and just rounding people up and sending them to prison in El Salvador. And it's like that's just evil. That's just evil, you know. So at least like Finland doesn't have a penal colony that they're gonna send me to first. Uh, I guess I can be thankful. There's a silver lining. But yeah, maybe. Yeah. But those are kind of my more raw feelings. But yeah, maybe we need to set up a penal colony, not for immigrants, but for Finnish people. For Finnish people who fail to pass their own citizenship test. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to leave. You can't stay here. Maybe the penal colony, it needs to be located in Sweden. Just just to really rub it in. All right, to all the Oh, you didn't know the year that John Sibelius was born? Oh, sorry. You're no longer a citizen. All right, we're taking that back. Citizenship is a privilege, not a birthright. Okay? Now go to your penal colony and start studying again. Work harder. Just work harder. Also, if you ever got benefits from Kela or any government help, you have to pay that back now, right? That's being held against you. You can't become a citizen again. Also, yeah, there's this law. One of my friends, he hasn't gotten citizenship because when he studied here, he took out like student loans, and the government won't give you citizenship until you pay back all your student loans. I didn't know that. Like, man, what do we have a bunch of bankers running the country? Like, what is this nonsense? No mercy. It's like we've built Pottersville from It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, politician BS, what a shocker. Yeah. And yeah, it is a different situation. Like it's the irony is sort of like people who get asylum status Obviously, they've had it worse than me based on where they came from. But once you get asylum status, you get a lot of support. Like you get a lot of help. I mean, I'm not that your life is easy by any means, even here in Finland, but like you get like free language classes and like you don't have to worry about getting kicked out of the country for frivolous economic reasons, like oh you lose your job, you got to leave, that kind of stuff. Like that's a relief. Like man, maybe I need to, I don't know. Maybe I need to like start saying stuff that will endanger my life if I return to the United States. And just be like, yeah, I got to stay here. Sorry, guys. uh, I couldn't. It's never a waste. You got to experience a new culture and place. That's, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm kind of being, I don't know, facetious. Uh, I've lived a good life. All right, I'm not here to sit to what is it, wallow in self pity. But there are, when I do look at the future, and I'm just sort of like, oh, I don't know. And I think part of it is like, I feel like I've had to reinvent myself too many times. Like the number of different things I've done in life, on the one hand, it's like you've got so many experiences, but on the other hand, it's like, yeah, but it sucked to have to readapt to living all these different places, trying out all these different like jobs and careers. And, you know, it's been really, yeah, it's rewarding in some sense, but it's also like crippling in another. And I hate to think about what I would have to do to readapt to America, the reverse culture shock if I had to go back, and reinventing myself. Like that would be really tough. Um, I don't like that. And it's like I do like my life here. I live I live very simply, and I like the way things are set up for like for me. This works for me. In a way, I'm like the ideal immigrant. Like I'm happy with less. Like I don't want to become a billionaire, Like that's not my goal. I just want to live a chill and good life. And I feel like I'm more able to do that here than if I had to move back to the US, where everything is much more about a rat race, kind of, I don't know. There's like, you have to have a car, there's not, yeah, it's not as great in some ways for my lifestyle, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'll be live streaming from the El Salvador max security prison. We'll be doing our Finnish lessons from. uh, shouldn't even joke about that. Lorelai, you'll be starting your master's studies. Congratulations. I remember you finished your previous studies, and that was quite a big deal. So that's cool. Yeah, you hate that about the US. It's such a car country. You can walk on sidewalks, but they're small and narrow. Public transportation isn't nearly as accessible. Yeah, I watched this YouTube channel called Not Just Bikes, and he does these really good video essays talking about and comparing, the public infrastructure, public transportation between European cities and North American cities. And it's like night and day. It's just like, it's a shame how poorly built American cities are when it comes to connecting people. But yeah, Anyways, I need to wrap up stream. It's past 9 o'clock, and I'm hot. I feel like even just sitting here, I feel like I'm sweating. I'm tired of the heat. But yeah, thank you guys. I feel like it was another good, I don't know, Selko Uti set session. And yeah, we'll be back again. I'll be doing my Stardew Valley Granny Challenge stream on Thursday. And I'm enjoying it. I should be doing more streams. Yeah, but yeah, also trying to take it easy and not stress. Yeah. Yeah, City Beautiful is another good YouTube channel like that. Oh yeah, and Elena, thanks for dropping in. But yeah, I'm wrapping up. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate your support. It's definitely helped to do these live streams, even if at times I feel like I've just made a fool of myself, and that I almost feel guilty that I'm not better at Finnish by this point, like, you know. But the fact is, if I didn't do these live streams, I wouldn't be as consistent at practice. So, you know, that definitely counts. So I wouldn't be doing these live streams if you fools weren't in the chat. If I'm a fool for trying to learn Finnish, and an even bigger fool for doing it for so long and not actually learning, then the biggest fools of all are you guys for following along in this foolish endeavor. We're just like hobbits stumbling into Mordor, hoping for the best, you know, like maybe it'll turn out. I mean, it turned out well for Frodo and Sam, so, you know, maybe an eagle will come rescue me. And by eagle, I mean America. All right, the bald eagle. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Hope you guys are you survive the heat if you're in Finland. Hang in there. It's unrelenting, but it will relent. This too shall pass. Thank you guys. Yeah, it's entertaining to follow my struggles. Oh man, it's just a train wreck in slow motion, all right? Okay, guys. Have a good a good rest of your week, and hope to see you in the next live stream. Goodbye.